Hello, everybody. Hey, Jeanne, you are on the spot. You're awesome. So, welcome, guys. Happy Friday. How are you? I was not here last weekend. I was with my husband on a business trip that he had. It was to Napa Valley. Well, actually, Sonoma. He had it was like a business weekend retreat, and so we just kind of made it a long weekend. And we went a day early into San Francisco so that we could see some things that we'd never seen before. We hit all the highlights, I think. I had asked some friends who, who used to live in the area, and they recommended us. We went to Ghirardelli Square, went ate lunch at Fisherman's Wharf. We saw Alcatraz, which was kind of interesting because we were sitting eating lunch at Fisherman's Wharf. We're looking across the bay and we're like, oh my gosh, Alcatraz is like really close. I mean, it's not really that close, but it looked close, at least from where we were sitting. And so I was like, well, let me check and see if they have tickets. Sure enough, that afternoon they had tickets. People were telling us later, like, that's like impossible. But we lucked out that day and we were able to go. And it was a really interesting tour. And we got to walk down Lombard Street. So that was a lot of fun. And then, of course, then we went to Sonoma for his conference, and we went to Napa Valley. They had arranged for us to do a wine dinner train through Napa Valley, so that was really cool. So we got to check some things off our bucket list, which was a lot of fun. I will tell you though, coming home was quite an adventure. When we were leaving the resort, we were in a rental car, of course, and we get into the car, and there are ants on the console and on the dashboard. So thank goodness they weren't fire ants. But so I'm like trying to kill or squish these ants while my husband's driving on our 1.5 hour trip back to the San Francisco airport, because I didn't want them getting on him and then disrupting his driving, especially in an area that he wasn't familiar with. And so I'm like killing these ants. And then as soon as we get into the garage at the rental place, we get a notification our flight has been delayed, like an hour and a half. Usually not a big deal. But that delay, it got further delayed in Phoenix, and then that caused us to miss our connection in Houston. And they wanted to book us for a flight 9 hours later. And we're like, no, we're not going to wait in an airport for 9 hours when we live 3 hours away. So we ended up renting a car to drive home that night. We got home about 3:30 in the morning. So anyway, a lot of fun. The back end of it, coming home, wasn't quite so fun because then we had to go back to the airport, go pick up our luggage, return the rental car, and all that. But anyway, like I said, we did have a fun trip in San Francisco and Sonoma and Napa Valley. So I don't know if any of you have been. If not, it's a wonderful trip. I would recommend definitely staying in Fisherman's Wharf. We stayed at a hotel that was like maybe half a mile away. So we were able to walk to everything. It was really awesome. And those streets are steep, at least some of them. Walking along Fisherman's Wharf wasn't too bad, but some of those side streets, especially going up to Lombard Street, very, very steep. So anyway, all right, guys. Hello, Bonnie. Hi, Simone, Lori, Paula, John. Thank you, Jeanne. Thanks so much for joining me. If you have not joined me before and you are hopping on and joining me for the first time, my name is Debra Harrison. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Antonio, Texas, and I welcome you. I'm so happy that you're crafting with me today. All right, let's see. Have a few things that I wanted to share with you before we get into today's project. We have the bundle sale going on right now. And so I wanted to kind of I know some of you are wanting to take advantage of this bundle sale and kind of wondering what my plans are for the next couple of months, especially those of you who are part of my Sweet Creations Club. So I kind of want to let you know what I'm thinking. Don't hold me to it because I got to still design, but let me go ahead and turn my camera down and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Let me do that real quick. All right. All right. So as you know, for July, we are going to be, for the Sweet Creations Club, it will be focusing on the Mediterranean Blooms Suite using the Citrus Blooms bundle, and to make 4 cards. I love this one. This was probably one of my favorites. I love that distress tile embossing folder. And then just a quick little fun fold card. And then these 2 cards here, and then a little gift box. Now, I wanted to tell you about this so you can decide, because I will tell you, oh, good news. These Citrus Blooms came back in stock today. I noticed that. And so if you haven't ordered that and you want to order it, it is actually one of the more expensive bundles in the catalog. And so to get it an additional 10% off right now is amazing. I think it's normally $62 for the bundle price, and it's on sale right now till the end of June for $55. So I would recommend, if it's on your list, to go on ahead and get that. I do want to tell you what I am providing and what I'm not providing. So typically when we have a focus bundle, I provide all the cardstock pieces and the die cuts that are not related to the bundle. Okay. However, I am going to provide a couple of die cuts for you, and I want to explain what that is so that you are aware. So there's a couple of these projects, like this one right here. It uses I used one of the large label die, and basically I had it fold over to the front, and there are some score lines. So that one I am providing for you because of those score lines. Then there is another one that I'm providing for you where I am die cutting the large label, and then I cut it in half. You're going to use one section, one half on this card, and then you're going to glue the other section on this card. So that one I am providing for you. Obviously, the embossed layer, all the circles, the little labels, things like that, I'm going to provide for you. What I'm not going to provide for you, because one, it's a lot of die cuts, and my helper would probably quit on me if I asked her to do this, but we're not providing this intricate leafy layer, nor the base solid layer underneath, but you will be provided the cardstock. So you will need to die cut these two pieces for this card. Obviously, you'll need a die cut if you want to, the oranges from the designer series paper. Now, I will tell you, the lemons have to be manually cut. There is a little bit of manual cutting, but it's not too bad. So anyway, just wanted to let you know, you do kind of need the bundle unless you think that you have something similar in your stash that maybe you could replicate and substitute out. All right, so I just wanted to let you know, but it is a beautiful, beautiful bundle. All right, so that is July. Let me move that out of the way. Okay, now for August, I was kind of pulling out looking in my stash to see what I could play with. And right now, as far as bundles, there's really isn't anything for August that I'm looking to play with. But what I've thought about doing, I love this designer series paper. It's called Frames and Flowers. It has die cuts in it. And so I'm thinking about making this pack of designer series paper the projects for August Sweet Creations Club. I just think these would make some beautiful projects. So, and maybe pair it with a sentiment. I'm going to work on this hopefully this weekend, and then I'll have more information for you next week. So as far as August, I'm not anticipating the use of a bundle that would be on sale right now. I hope to have more information for you next week. Now, the other thing, I know y'all have been asking about the duck. I really, really would like to do a class, but it will probably be a standalone project kit with the Charming Duck Pond bundle. So if that has been on your list, you're probably safe in ordering it, because I do hope to maybe July, August, do a standalone kit with that. All right. So just kind of want to let you know, as you're planning, what my plans are. Okay. All right, let's see what else. Oh, I want to tell you about next week, because next week is the craft along that I'm going to be featuring with the Attention Shoppers bundle. Now, that is also a bundle that is on sale right now. Actually, it's like $35. It's super cheap right now on sale. So let me tell you what I am providing and what I'm not. Okay. So next week, I will be providing for you, kind of like I do each week, a quick reference for the cards. Now, the event will be on June 27th. That will be at 2 p.m. Central Time. It'll probably run from 2 to 3 o'clock. And I will be providing quick reference for each of the projects. If, though, you want to be able to have the project sheet to print out, then I do have it available in my PDF store for $10. Okay, and that's all it's all the pictures and all the instructions for you to be able to follow along. All right. Or if you want, during next week's live, you can go on ahead and just take snapshots, write down measurements during the live, and then go and cut them on your own. Now, for those of you who earned the free project kit, you do have a link on your cover sheet to be able to access the PDF tutorial. I will also be emailing this tutorial to you this weekend for those who earned the free kit. I will be emailing the replay of the event of the craft along to my email list, just so everybody has that video to be able to go back and watch it if they need to or if they would like to. But I will not be emailing the project sheet or the PDF. All right. So it's a little bit different than I've done in the past. All right. It's not like my weekly lives where I send the project sheet. All right, like I said, we've got the bundle sale. You can save an extra 10% off. I think most everything has come back in stock as of today, but go check it out. All right, this runs through June 30th. All right, so today we're going to be making this really beautiful box. It is a gift. It can fit a gift card. It can fit some small treats. And I designed it to where it's really simple. It's not that hard at all. And so we're going to do a box base. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a lid. And then we're just going to use the really beautiful, the large label die, and then cut out from the designer series paper. Excuse me. Okay, so I wanted to share with you what I think is the highlight of this whole suite, and it is the designer series paper. It is so beautiful. And what I love about it is that on this particular sheet right here, you can actually die cut out the images with the dies. I always love it when Stampin' Up! Does that. So creative. All right, there you go. And then also too, these little flowers will line up too. Don't ask me to do it on the spot right here because they have to be rotated a certain way. And so what I did is I die cut out the large set of oranges. I'm going to change it up a little bit today though, because I want to do it with lemons. Now for the lemons print, that one comes from this sheet right here, and I did manually cut one out. So I thought we would just try it out with the lemon and see which one we like better. And that is one of the nice things is that even on the July Sweet Creations Club, you can actually switch out. You can use oranges or you can use lemons. It really does not matter. They both are going to look great. All right, so let's go ahead. We got a quick reference here. For those who are on my email list, I will be emailing this project sheet in tomorrow's email at 3 o'clock Central Time. So if you're not part of my email, make sure you go sign up and by 3 o'clock Central Time tomorrow. Now, if you sign up, like I know some of you signed up in the last couple of weeks and you may have missed a project sheet. You can totally, when you get your welcome email, just send me a reply and just say, hey, I would like the project sheet for whatever the project is, all right? As long as it's reasonable and I'm not having to look at, you know, a whole bunch of project sheets, I don't mind going back and getting a couple for you, all right, to get you caught up. But you can also too, if you missed it from the 2 weeks ago, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of my email, you will see the prior week's project sheet and video link. All right, so we're going to be also too, like I said, I showed you the dies. This is this really beautiful large die. I have been playing so much with this. This alone is amazing. This is an awesome die. And then just beautiful stamp set. Next week, the project, I will be featuring a stamped image that I'm going to be coloring in so you can get an idea of how do you actually use those orange images. Those are really pretty. Okay, let's get our supplies in place. I've been talking long enough. Sorry, guys. Just a lot to catch up on. Okay, so let's go on ahead and we're going to start off with our box base. This measures 5 by 6 inches. And all I did for this is I scored around all 4 edges at 1 inch just to be able to create the sides of my box. And then I'm going to snip up on these score lines that are on each end. Guys, I think I need a little water. Hold on. My throat's kind of feeling weird. Excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, so let's rotate it, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now that we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to burnish all the score lines. And then we're just going to tuck in our little side tabs and we're going to glue them to the inside just to create the little box here. Just a little shallow box, okay? So you can use your tear and tape, or if you want, you can use multi-purpose liquid glue. All right, one Okay, now that we have, and oh, looks like one's trying to slip off here. Let's go ahead and get that fixed. Press down real well. Okay, so here we have our box. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to what I call my inside hinge. And for this one, we're going to take, both of these are thick. I don't think I told you, it is the thick version of the basic white. We're going to take another piece of the thick basic white. This one, though, measures 3 7/8 by 5 inches. And basically, I scored it 1 inch and 4 inches. All right, so basically 1 inch from each end to be able to kind of create my hinge. And I have lost, there it is. Okay, now the reason it is 3 7/8 inches across is so that I can fit it inside, because the measurement across here is 4 inches. So I want to allow myself just a little bit of space. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on the inside on that 1 inch section, only one side. We don't want to do both. And we're going to just set this in here. And then I'm just going to press down. And so we kind of have what I call a faux box, right? So we don't have all the different cuts and all that. This is just a very, very simple box. And it does have a little bit of gap here on the sides on my left and right, but that's totally fine because I'm going to be adhering my really large die cut label. Okay, so before I get to that though, let me take my pieces of designer series paper. Now I have 2 of them that measure, they all measure 7/8 wide, but these 2 are 3 7/8 long, and these 2 are 2 7/8 long. So I'm just going to go around the perimeter of the box, and I'm going to adhere my designer series paper. And this is probably one of my favorite things. I do find this designer series paper to be a little bit busy, but when you pair it with the really pretty blue prints in the paper, it really works well with those pretty orange and lemons images. All right, so there we go. We've got the perimeter of our box. We've got designer series paper. We have our lid done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add glue on to the top of my lid here. And I'm going to turn over, I die cut out in thick basic white cardstock that large label from the Citrus Blooms die set. Now what I'm going to do is, this is the nice finished side that I want to show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to have the finished side on my table surface upside down. And then what I'm going to do is, I don't want to do this yet. I forgot to stamp my image. All right, so here in the lower right corner, I do want to stamp my sentiment, which I'm just going to do a simple hello. Whew, that was a close call, guys. Okay, so in Night of Navy ink, I'm just going to stamp my sentiment right here in the corner. Now we are good to go to glue it. All right, let me add a little more glue just in case some of it dried. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to watch how I position this. So I need to make sure this is the front of my box. So I'm going to flip this over, and then I'm going to line this up and just kind of center it. And just kind of open my lid a little bit here, or the box, and just press down. All right, there we go. I did it good. I did well. I was nervous I might have that upside down. All right, so here we go. We can open it up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to try the lemons instead of the oranges this time. Let's see what we think, if we like it better, or maybe just as equally as good. All right, so I'm just going to go around. We're going to pop this up with some dimensionals. Now I'm going to try to keep my dimensionals kind of more towards the center, because I do want to come back in and add some leaves. All right, so let's kind of angle this, allow some room. for my leaves. Now, in Granny Apple Green, I did die cut out 3 of the leaves. And so I am just going to adhere them underneath. Just add little dabs of glue. Don't need a whole lot. Let's go ahead and stick these coming out. All right, and then the last thing that I want to do is I'm going to add my bow. Now, I have really enjoyed using the Night of Navy glittered ribbon. It's actually a carryover product that we have, I think, from the last holiday catalog. And so I'm just going to glue that on with a mini glue dot. And then that is our project, guys. It's a really, really simple treat box to make. There we go. Just going ahead and adhere that on. All right, so tell me, which one do you like better? Do you like it with the oranges? Do you like it with the lemons? Or do you like them equally as well? So anyway, you like the lemons? Okay, I like how they're interchangeable. That's one of the things I noticed in here when I was designing these is you could actually take the July Sweet Creations Club. You could substitute any of these images for an orange or a lemon. They're totally interchangeable. So that's what I really like about this paper. All right, guys. So that is what I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm going to look real equally. Okay. All right. Love them both. Cool. All right. I'm going to check real quick to see if we have any questions. Looks like we're good today. All right, guys. Well, I hope that y'all have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. And I will see you next Friday. I do have another project with the sweet. I keep wanting to call it sweet. We have so many products that begin with sweet. It is Citrus Blooms Bundle. So anyway, I will come back with next week and I will share a project where we're going to actually stamp and color the orange images this time. All right. All right. We will see you next Friday. Y'all take care and we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.